Wednesday Night with Those Guys, and Wednesday Night with Those Guys is sponsored by Those Guys. What's up, everyone? What's up? What's up? Welcome to Wednesday Night with Those Guys. And as you know, Wednesday Night with Those Guys is sponsored by Those Guys.
Those Guys, right.
And this is where we talk about everything in the drone world and promote the usage of drones. So how is everyone's Wednesday going on? How has everyone been doing? I hope you've got good weather where you are. The weather here has been very wet. As wet can be. Rain off and on for like the last 2 days into today. I don't know what's going on. I've been on the computer all day.
Well, I've been trying to do something on the computer. What's up, man? How are you?
I'm good, but how was your Wednesday going?
Okay, I guess.
It's
I got out of bed.
It was good, man.
Okay, I got up this morning expecting to go fly some FPV, and the wind, the temperature was like 47, and I looked out. People had hoods and hats on. I was like,
oh,
I'm
yeah,
good.
They said it was going to feel like earlier last month today, but yeah, it is, we got a little bit to talk about tonight, some stuff going on. And, seems like it's banning season. Ban them.
What's happening with this banning season? What's going on?
Everybody's banning. Everybody wants to ban.
What are you talking about banning? I mean,
well, the whole thing on the Chinese stuff. The Chinese-made drones. Only the Chinese-made drones are gonna steal your life and send it back to China. Nothing else made from China is gonna do that.
Wow, I wish I was headed to where SGM Drones and Media is going. He says
where's he going?
It will be sunshine for me tomorrow. Off to Lanzarote, Spain, for some rays.
Okay.
Safe travels, bro.
All right.
Safe travels to you and whoever you're traveling with.
So I don't actually know
hey TJ,
geographically where that is in Spain. But they have a boat that I've heard that takes people across to Morocco. Everyone that goes there wants to do that.
Really?
And vice versa, going to Morocco. But yeah, to check it out, because they actually have a rich history that unites both cultures.
Okay. Steven Drones, what's up? Evening.
Yeah,
Well, from what I understand, also over there, the super rich go there to gamble. At least that's what I've seen in the James Bond movies.
Really?
I'm just saying that, Oh, it's number one of the Canary Islands. It's the first of one island of the Canary Islands. Okay, where he's going.
All right.
Let's see. Island hopping. That's what you're going to do? He's telling us he's going to one island, but you go down there, you have to island hop, right?
So
because they have stuff.
Can you fly there?
Yeah, can you fly there, or do you have to fly close and get a shuttle boat or ferry to the island?
No.
I don't know how that goes.
No.
I don't know how that goes.
I'm asking him if he can fly there, like fly his drone there.
Oh, can you fly your drone? Yeah,
not
good
from here, not from the States to there.
Yeah,
did you fly there?
Okay, my bad. Did you find out if you can fly drones there, SGM? Because I'm for from super rich. Okay, but can you fly drones there? That's an interesting question. I won't be flying too many. There's too many no-fly zones. Yeah, that means there's a lot of money over there.
Okay,
but I'm sure you're taking a drone with you, and if not, you should be. Just in case you find an area that's not a no-fly zone.
No no-fly zones.
The entire island can't have a no-fly zone.
Here I am in the jungle with my drone.
Right?
You like some
Could
shots
someone please? Can
of the
someone
jungle.
please? Can someone please call 911? I touched that yellow frog over there, and I'm feeling dizzy.
No,
Anyway, safe
you don't want to do
travels.
nothing like that.
Yeah, yeah. Safe
No,
travels
but
to
I
you.
do hope you have some fun if you get to fly. If you do take your drone, be safe.
He says he will
Lastly, be
video. He's
careful.
gonna vlog. He's gonna vlog. That's good.
Okay.
That's what's up. All right, but
Right.
I'd still take a drone. Anyway,
See,
I would take a drone.
that's where the minis come in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's where the minis come in.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, I mean, they're all small enough to take with you, but the mini, shoot, even if you use the bag that it comes with, that can't get in the way of anything. You know what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
You tie it around your neck, you could keep it on you through an amusement park ride.
That's true. That's true. Could you imagine? They'd be like, "Is that a drone?" No, it's decoration.
No, you remember Flav had the clocks, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I got the bag.
Oh, it's the whole bag. Damn. I thought you were talking about hanging like the mini from your from a
No,
lanyard.
the bag with the drawer. So I said, if you have the bag, you can throw your controller and everything in it and just hang it from you. Hanging around.
What do you say? What do you say? That's a new style over in the States.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, wearing a bag over your.
Listen, let's not start that. Let's not start that. Because you know how I feel about that.
Yeah, yeah. Let's go. Anyway, click that like button. We'd appreciate it very much if you did. Welcome to Wednesday nights with those guys. How the hell are you guys out there? What's going on?
Well, Lawrence, you know, last week, right? We had Billy Kyle on, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, we had Billy Kyle. We talked about the Mavic 3, right? The Mavic 3 Pro, right?
Right.
Okay. And I had mentioned that the Googles, it's the Googles. It was supposed to, and the motion controller, it was supposed to be able to work with the Mavic 3 series.
The Mavic 3 series and
Billy
the entire Mavic 3 series.
Right. Billy had confirmed that. But he said that it wasn't working yet. But I'm hearing now that it supposedly now works compatible with the sub 250 Giant, the Mini 3 Pro. Yeah, so that's what I'm hearing now.
Okay, well,
I'm
that's
hearing
actually that's actually good in a way, because a lot of camera drone people were asking, how come we can't fly our drone with goggles? So now there you have it.
You used to be able to, and
right. I remember they had the pair you had.
Huh?
The pair you had.
Right, but what I'm saying to you is that almost any goggles that had a connection with an HDMI connection for excuse me, to that could receive the signal through the HDMI cable.
Yeah.
Now, with that, you had the controllers from DJI. I think it was on the regular Phantom controllers, and you remember the Phantom controllers, the Inspiro had the same controllers.
Yeah, yeah.
Was it part 45? I believe it was. That you change out the piece on the bottom on the controller.
Yeah, yeah.
With the new little board that you put in there.
Yeah, some module. I remember that.
And it had a connector on it. Now, there was a tablet that had come out that was very popular. Excuse me. There was a tablet that had come out that was very popular, the Shield.
I remember. SJM says that he used to use the unique goggles.
Remember the Shield?
Yeah, I remember.
All right, remember the Shield? When the Shield was out, that was the shit. Right. So for years, guys that had that was able to fly the Phantoms with no problems and stuff like that. Even your Mavics, if you wanted to fly with a tablet with that,
right,
you could use that tablet. Now with all of the upgrades and stuff like that, the apps don't work well on that tablet. So now guys are getting the what was that, the triple tech? You remember the triple tech?
Mm-hmm.
It was two versions of that before, and the second version is when it really caught on with a lot of guys.
Yeah, yeah.
That didn't
And
have an HDMI port, but with the Shield, right?
you had
I
one.
could plug the goggles into that, and you could
Right.
use that to fly your drone. You still had your screen. It was just showing you everything that was happening on your screen. So it had all the telemetry in the goggles with you, and
Right.
you could use that. Now, this latest version of the triple tech does the same thing now. So guys could use that triple tech, the new version of the triple tech tablet,
Mm-hmm.
and it had
Because of that
4K and
HDMI out.
everything. Right. So they can do that now with almost any thing that they almost any drone now.
And these guys are
If you're
saying that
using,
they go ahead.
if you're using a tablet
I
and not
just
one of the
found out
built-in screens.
in the chat that Unique had a set of goggles also. SJM said that he had a pair, and Steven Drone said he also had a pair with his Unique H plus. His goggles make him dizzy. Goggles are fun. I'm not gonna lie. I prefer goggles, but what I've been experiencing, and I'm 59, is I've been experiencing if I go up high and I'm not sitting down, all of a sudden I experience vertigo.
Really?
Yeah, and I feel myself starting to wobble. So now if I'm not leaning up against something,
just dizzy.
yeah, lightheaded. Well, I go up high and then all of a sudden it's like my equilibrium starts going like this in the goggles because my body says you're standing on the ground, but you're actually 100 feet, 10 stories up, and
Now
you're
watch
looking
this.
down.
I know someone who suffers from vertigo. They take medication for it. He has that same effect standing on the ground. So
get out of here.
Yeah.
If I'm sitting down, I'm
if he doesn't take his medication,
okay.
Yeah, sometimes he gets dizzy.
Hey, Chris.
He doesn't know how he can't judge distance and stuff like that. Yeah, he gets all messed up.
That's interesting because I only experience
to come get him.
But I only experience it if I go higher than about 10 stories. Which is kind of strange. If trees are like 3 or 4 stories and you're trying to like do a split S over them or something like that, I don't have that problem. But 10 stories or higher, and I'm like, okay.
So you can't do roller coasters then?
Oh no, I get on any metal roller coasters. The wood ones.
How are you not going to have the same effect?
The roller coasters don't bother me. I don't know.
You don't. So no. See, if you
next year I'll be pushing senior citizen dude at 60. Stop.
No, you already classified. You can do the AARP thing. You good?
The AARP.
Yeah, you good.
Yeah, they qualify you at 55.
You good?
You should get paid for that AARP.
Right up in there. You right up in there. What we got in the chat there, Lawrence? What we got?
Jackson RC just came in. You have Steven Drones, JC Flying. Let's see. JSK was here earlier. SJM, I did say. TJ Giggles said he came in to say what's up. JC John was here. TJ just said he came in to say what's up.
That dude is crazy, man.
Who, TJ?
Yeah, I like that guy.
A lot of energy, which is good to have these days. I tried. I had to sit or I will fall over.
Nah, you know what? When we was on Rhode Island, he just came up, introduced himself like he was real cool, man. Real cool dude, man. I like him.
I'm learning why people sit, Steven Drones.
Real cool.
Yeah, everyone that we met. In fact, I had just changed my Facebook profile picture to a photo of me.
Honestly?
Yeah.
I wish they had another.
One Vision Aerial.
I wish they had another meetup. One Vision was good. I wish they had another meetup, though, in Rhode Island. Because all of the guys at that meetup really were some real nice dudes. A lot of good conversation about drones.
Yes. Yeah, there were any crowd that you walked up to, it was only drone, 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 drone. You know,
Shop
everybody
talk.
was yes, everyone was talking shop. Whatever you flew, and I'm glad nobody pulled out a karma there. That was cool that nobody pulled out a karma, because I think that would have been the joke of the day. But that was a great meetup. I just saw that blue screen again,
You know
but it
what?
seems fine.
You know what, John? I think it really definitely like you need out she was 6 feet tall,
Hey,
six
no,
feet
6'2". I
six
had
two.
I have an ex that was 6'2", but keep in mind I'm 6'3", so that didn't mean a whole lot. Yeah, her name was Susie. We used to call her Susie Q. And okay, yeah. On to the next story.
I'm gonna
Right.
leave that alone.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But she was six two,
We
yo.
call that tree.
I had her by an inch. It was the first time I
Gyrad.
had it was the first time I had a girl I almost look straight in the eyes
Mm-hmm.
at 6'3". Hey, Chris says they're thinking about a
you
drone meetup. Don't have particulars
who
yet because Chris Jackson RC.
he don't got the particulars left.
Hey, JC says he knows a Susie Q. I bet you do.
There we go.
If
There we go.
you're
That's where
talking
the
about,
trouble
listen,
starts.
Jackson, depending on what we're doing, when you have it, and
Uh,
I'm looking, Herman and I are looking for some local meetups.
okay. Let me know what's good on that, Mo. Seriously, let me know what's good. But there's a new firmware update, Lawrence, for the Action Tree. As they was
Yes,
depending on where you're from, it's the Action 3, the Action Tree.
this is true. Yes, I did know about it. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
I was actually
yeah.
surprised. It's just that they kind of threw me for a curve.
Well, guess what? They're supposed to be making it better for shooting video.
Turn sharing on. We're about to try this. We're going
What are you
all
gonna
in.
share? What are you
So
sharing?
if I disappear, we're
What
still
are you
working on the
sharing? What are
studio.
you
If I
sharing?
go ahead. You
What are you
talk about the
sharing?
Action
What are you
3. I got
sharing?
this.
Oh, okay. You're sharing some Action 3. Okay. Action
Yeah.
3. Action. So the Action 3, right, Lawrence? It's supposed to be a new version of this Action 3. So what is that? The firmware
Yeah.
V01.03.10.30. Like I said, it's supposed to make shooting video better.
Right.
Right. It's supposed to add enhanced image quality in video shooting mode. Now that's only I believe, in certain resolutions and frame rates.
Right.
Now I don't what those resolutions and frame rates are. I don't know. I have not yet checked out the firmware on it. I haven't done the firmware update on it yet. So
Okay.
I don't know. When I do, I will see what's good on it.
I
But I
still
have.
haven't gotten any FPV footage with that camera.
Oh, well, the cameras are here. You just gotta put it on the drone and fly it.
You know what? I need to find a mount. I need to contact someone and see if they can print me a 3D mount for the Action 3.
Yeah, this thing does a couple of things. This firmware update, like I said, it improves image quality. When this one right here is, and I didn't write this, everyone. I'm reading it from their stuff.
Yeah,
Um, it
it is
might
funny.
it might sound a little funny to you. It sounded funny to me. I don't know. It improves image quality when used as a webcam or when live streaming. Take a minute on that. Take a
Here
minute
we
on that
go.
one, everyone.
What's up, Dan the man?
It optimizes the UI display and functions, and it fixes a few bugs. So like your thing has your items might have a little bit of quirkiness in it. Those are the bugs that it
Yeah.
fixes and knocks them out. I
Well, see, Well,
So,
I thought it was funny too, like you said, when they say it's for media
uh,
and and live streaming. I'm like,
yeah, it's a webcam wall when live streaming. Yeah, I was like,
right now, don't you use your webcams to live stream? Yeah,
is that
scratching.
the same thing?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, whatever you use as a webcam, you're using as a webcam. You live streaming as a webcam. You could say it's the same thing, right?
That's what
That's
I
one.
thought.
I guess one is one, and the other one is both of them. I guess. Yeah.
According to the people who eat Tide Pods today, yes, they are two different things. That's
Uh,
all I'm gonna say.
oh, okay.
You know,
I
I
got
mean,
you. If you eat
we
Tide Pods, it doesn't matter, right?
it's like you were telling me the story at Ted too. The hell?
You got a bird?
No, we don't. He was flying by or something. I hope he was flying by. That sounded like a geese or something. They
Yep.
got the screen door open. Anyway, he didn't fly through it or try
Did
to
they
fly
come in the
through it.
house?
Listen, you would have saw me pick up something, start swinging.
Mm.
Peter would have had to get to me.
Yeah, it's right there.
No,
He's
he's flying away. Shut up. You
he's
could hear that?
hiding. He's hiding behind the furniture, waiting for you.
He's hiding behind the furniture on the terrace.
He's
So
waiting for you.
when I go out to look out there tonight, that's how you do it.
Mm-hmm. Him and that,
Tide pods are delicious on sourdough bread, or so I'm told.
he's
Dan
gonna be
says.
he's gonna be right out there with the Affleck duck waiting to fuck you up.
You heard what Dan said? He
Yeah, I
said
heard what he said.
Tide pods are delicious on sourdough bread, so he's told.
Be waiting outside with the Affleck duck waiting on you.
Yeah, for real. For real. But anyway, getting
Yeah,
back to this new firmware
yeah. Firm
on
it
the
up.
Action 3, I have not, like you said, you haven't done it. I haven't
No.
even had it to, I need a 3D, someone to print me a 3D print. And then
Uh-huh.
then I could do something with it. Hey, Jim's droning. How are you, man? I'm sorry I missed you.
Hey,
Good
Jim, what's
evening.
going on, man? But yeah, Lawrence. But see, here's the thing. And I was, here we go again.
What
Do you
happened?
remember? Do you remember Florida and that band? I'm talking about the bandwagon. Everybody's on the bandwagon. Well,
Yeah.
it has come to where here we are now. Arkansas has joined the bandwagon because Arkansas has
Evening, Rose.
followed Florida and Mississippi and who else and whatever in banning on the ban on Chinese drones. But Arkansas lawmakers have seemed to take a slightly different approach on this one, Lawrence. And I thought this one,
And I'm glad.
and I was looking at this and I thought it was funny. Let me read a couple of things that I have here that I put out here. Because like I said, they've taken a slightly different approach to the phasing out of the what they call the technology manufactured and coveted entity such as like China and Russia and countries under their jurisdiction or their territory. So I guess anyone that is influenced by them is, I guess, considered as a covered entity country as far as they're concerned. But anyhow, doesn't matter. Talking about this the bill and how it has no impact on commercial or civil operations in the state of Arkansas. So Arkansas Bill 1653 now,
Right.
which is now Act 525, prohibits the purchase or operation of drones manufactured in China or other covered entity countries, like I mentioned before.
Right.
Now, This is similar to the bill that was recently passed in Florida.
Flow rider.
Yeah,
Okay.
Florida.
I know, I got it.
But this act makes it a little bit more manageable for public safety agencies. And
Okay.
yeah, it kind of does, because where'd you go?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. I thought you disappeared. Because all I see is construction equipment.
No.
Well, they say that the ban, and I tell you that this is, they say that this ban in Florida, it causes problems for public safety entities, because there's a lot of things happening with it. Between public safety and other state agencies. One of the things that was mentioned is the fact that it limits them to a list of five manufacturers, and out of those 5 manufacturers is where they have to use the drones from. But
Right.
they're also saying that the Florida bill provides no grandfathering of existing equipment. Now, basically, it's the same like with the State Department, I guess, with the what, totally no use, no purchase, no money, federal funding money.
Right.
Same as that, right? So, like I said, the reason why the whole grandfathering thing is an issue with them is that because public safety agencies now have to retrain personnel to use new equipment.
Right. Which happens in businesses.
Well, if you use, let's just take DJI or even Autel. Those are the two that off the box drones that most people will turn to use, that of quality. A quality product. So,
right.
With that being said, that once you use one, you can use the next one.
True.
Now, the flying characteristics of the craft itself may be a little different, but the interface and everything and how everything is set up, it's pretty much the same. Now, that's why the training and all of that comes into play, of the whole thing about the retraining. But now, see, in addition to this Act 525, damn, I don't know where the hell this cough came from. Excuse me. This gives agencies 4 years. All right, it's 4 years. So they have 4 years, right, until May 1st of 27.
Right.
To comply with this. Now,
So
if they had bought Mavic 3s or even the Mavic 3 Pro when they came out, and all of the enterprise drones and stuff like that, the Matrice and stuff like that, they can still use them pretty much throughout their life of them until they have to comply with this.
Wow.
You see where I'm going with that?
Yeah.
Because if they got 4 years to comply with this, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's like the life of those drones, pretty much. 4 years to 5 years before the next.
Yep.
Everybody.
Yep. Before they start.
We want the next one. We want the next one.
Right now, the Mavic 3 DJI. It sounds like an angry accountant. They're talking about they could hear me typing. They sound like an angry accountant. Click, 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 click.
Oh yeah, but see now, but this is the killer with this bill. I kind of like this bill if I worked in public safety agency, because here's the thing: not only do I have 4 years to comply, but this act provides a waiver provision that allows public safety agencies to apply for exemption.
That makes a lot of sense.
So all you have to, I guess, to do is show a use case scenario with it and how it's safe enough and how it's been, and then all they got to do is use the same United States government tests that were done, that and the tests that were done by an independent study,
Right.
and they can use those tests and find that DJI drones are okay, and that and everybody. Okay, watch this. Everyone in the drone community, that's anyone or anyone that comes to these live streams, or any one of these guys that I know that I can mention off the top of my head that I've seen in different live streams and live stream chats or doing live streams, we all know that this information sits on what is Amazon servers. So they're right here. So I don't know. I guess that they can prove this, then they can get to use their drones continuously with this bill. This bill actually is
Right. By the
bill.
time it goes out of statute, you're in new technology anyway.
Right, but what I'm saying to you is that the bill offers a way for them to get a waiver if you're in public safety.
Right.
Public safety agency that allows you to get a waiver to exemption from the rules.
That's interesting.
Of the bill. That states that you can't spend any money or use these things to operate and do what you need to do.
Right.
That is so beautiful. I mean, to put something like that in the bill, that's where I guess it differs from Florida and these other states that are trying to do it, where they have said no, can't do that. No, we get pow pow. So all of those drones sitting on the shelf going to waste. That's interesting.
Somebody will find a use for them. They'll find a country to sell them to or something.
Another country to sell to us.
Yeah, like we do everything else.
Why don't you give them to some one of these programs, a school or something like that?
True. And start some STEM programs for these schools, right? Like, I mean, fortunately here in New York, we have Aviation High School, which is working with the FAA to do things.
Well, women
like that.
Drone, and I think it was AUVSI, in that program they have with the it's a whole joint venture for the public safety drone donation. The drones that are donated to that they find that are too old to use in public safety, they send those to the STEM programs.
No Jim's droning. No one's sending you their working drones. You could have the busted up ones, but he's in here politicking for people to send them their drone. Send him their drones. Are you trying to start a drone farm?
He's trying to do his own drone donation program.
Drone donation drive, right? Except he keeps everything. Got a mini one. That's it. And no, you're not getting it. Hey, Bill, what's up, Coast to Coast? How are you? I'm just here working, meandering around the neighborhood. Well, we appreciate you listening, Matt Bagwell. He's Captain UPS there. But by the way, Amazon was supposed to deliver something today.
Amazonian?
Yeah, Amazonian, which means after the live stream, I think I have to go. They have lockers, so let me find out if it's been delivered.
What they got?
Delivered today, and oh no, the store will be closed. All right, I have a pickup code, so I'll pick it up in the morning. Huh?
You're kicking the door and run up in there?
No, it's the store. They have a pickup locker that's outside here, and then they have a pickup locker in the store.
They leave it outside or in the store?
No, I ordered some sneakers, right? They have an outside one. That one they didn't deliver to for 2 days, but if I chose the locker in the pickup locker inside the store, I could get it in the next day. So it's been delivered. I scan this thing, they scan it, and the door pops open. I grab my stuff and I go.
Okay, so no one in the store has it.
No. Okay. It's a locker system in the store. You just walk up and you scan it, and and the door pops open.
I can see it now. Yo, he didn't come for these. Oh boy, look at these. Yo, this guy didn't pick up his sneakers, boy.
Yeah, that's okay if you wear a size 14.
I got 2 pair of socks on with these.
Oh,
But
shit.
he could.
Russell, how are you, man? Welcome. Herman, my Mavic 3 Pro has shipped.
Okay, congrats.
Congratulations. Someone else said they had ordered one in the chat
Congrats.
earlier.
All right.
Congratulations. I want to see some footage. All I can say is, hey, the View Chaser, what's good, man?
Well,
Hope all is well.
You know what, Lawrence?
Click that like button, guys.
Talking about drones and drones supposedly coming out, and leaks and creeps and pictures and stuff like that.
Yeah.
More leaks from Autel on the new drone. I saw this a few days ago when I wanted to talk about it, but I had no live stream to talk about it on.
Right.
Yeah, we all know about the
Autel and their new bird right here.
Autel last week. Oh, let's say last week, but back January they talked about the Evo Max 4T back in January. You remember that, right? When he came out, he talked about that bird. They talked about it big time. The 4T
and the
4T
and the 4N Max.
Right, but now we see leaks on social media showing another drone and the specs. So now we come down
this one right here.
So now we come down the line, right? We're talking about this thing as we know about the Max 4T and what was on that and what they said was to be on this drone.
Right.
And we know about what they call the binocular vision system.
Mm-hmm.
You know about that, right? With the millimeter wave radar technology, right? We know about all of that. We know about it has that whole wide, and we had the wide, the zoom, and the thermal camera.
Yeah.
Right. We know about all of that. We know about the 160 maximum hybrid zoom, the 4K resolution. We know all of that, right? We know all of that stuff. We know, right? We know that with the laser range finder, right? And on autonomous pathfinding. It has all of those features in that drone, right? And this surround what they call it, the obstacle avoidance.
Yeah,
that was a funny one that they had.
This is the
one feature that I like the most about this drone was the anti-jamming and the anti-interference tech. So its ability to navigate through GPS denied environments. That was the feature that I liked the most about it. But now we got coming down the line.
Not the anti-jamming.
Yeah, that whole feature. I'd like to know how that works with the drone mitigation tech that's coming out and all these guns and stuff. I'd like to know how that works with it. But now we see also with these photos, which is what the Evo Max 4N.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. So right here, I'll bring it back up.
Right. Now they're saying that this is supposed to be coming later on this month. I don't know. This is according to your man, Lawrence, your man, Mr. Baldenoff, right?
Yeah.
Igor, however you want to call him. I would say Igor, right?
Sorry about the sirens in the background. The police.
We know where you at.
Can't get any more hood than this, right? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
No, but
he was just trying to get out of a parking lot.
This drone is supposed to be a low light beast, man. Now,
well, from what I understand, this is supposed to be their answer to the M30T.
But check this one out, Lawrence. I got one for you. Keep this. 45 was it 450,000 ISO, if that's
for night vision. Yes.
Yeah, but what this is the one I thought was kind of strange because what is it, 41.4 millimeter wide angle? camera, 50 megapixel, one on 1/1.28 inch CMOS sensor,
Mm-hmm.
f1.9, I guess, on the aperture. 85-degree field of view.
I think it'll be,
Focal
I
length.
hope it does well.
This is interesting because I
Jim's
look at
droning
this
says,
thermal.
is there any reason why it looks like a Mavic? Well, after
Because that's
Autel,
the way to go right now.
it is the way to go. And if you remember about 2 to 3 years ago, DJI went at Autel for their cookie cutter shape of the Phantom Pro. So
Was it?
you remember that case,
Because I know
that
that
DJI?
because I know that Autel came with DJI for a lot of patent things that they said that
Mm-hmm.
claimed that they ripped off the propeller, the quick
Yeah,
release propellers, all kind of stuff. But everybody has quick release propellers, but DJI is the one you look at.
right. Matt Bagwell says he wants one, and he says if it does as well as their specs say, it should be a beast. Agree, and I hope that it is, Matt,
Oh
for the
yeah.
simple reason.
Yeah, it is. I'm looking at the numbers. I just hope it
Yeah.
works.
450,000 ISO. It's gonna. They say super night vision, not night vision. Super night vision.
Yeah, so you'll be able to open up that aperture, get it all nice and grainy.
Nice and grainy. You said.
No,
Well,
I mean, if you can, you can open up the ISO, let a lot more light in. You just, I guess, you adjust it with your aperture. You got to look at the aperture. They gotta listen. If it works,
it should be a
it's
beast.
a nice little enterprise drone, and I guess it's gonna go right after the M30 series.
Price tag. We haven't seen nothing on price yet.
Well,
But
price-wise, what was the price of the other one? Like
the price of the MT30,
500,000?
I could look up now. I think it started at about five.
No, I'm talking about on the Max 4T.
Price Max. Okay, AUTEL Max 4T. Let's see what the price is. The price on the Max 4T starts at $9,000.
See,
In fact, let me share the screen right here so you guys, because some of you guys be like, he making that up. Nope, right here. 4,000, 9,000, 8,999 Max 4T. Let's see, Vertical drones.
So the other one will probably be right in around the same price range.
It'll probably be around the price range or slightly higher due to the thermal. And
they both.
Yeah, here we go, right here. Autel Max 4T, $8,999. But you can have it. Hold on, Herman. You could have it with monthly payments of $813 a month.
That's a car note, bro.
And pre-orders pay 50% of the pre-order.
You heard me?
Huh?
That's a car note.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. You're right about that. So it starts
800. That's more than some people car note.
Max 420, what's good, man? Hope all is well.
Max, what's good, man?
Yeah, 9,000-ish.
No, but yeah, that's expensive. But no, the other one I expected to be a little bit more. You know why?
But they're using this to compete with the Max.
Because of the night vision.
The super night vision, yes.
Okay, super night vision.
Yeah. Yes, everyone else has night vision.
The extra grainy feature.
Hold on.
50,000 ISO. You know what that means?
What does that mean? Every time you make a monthly payment, you're paying for someone's car?
No, that means that your ISO, right, is open like this, but your aperture has still got the sensor like this. Like this.
Stop. You ain't right. You're not right. You're not right. But check this out. This is supposed to be drone here. This is supposed to be the competition to the.
That's a lot of light coming in, bro.
But this is supposed to be the competition to the T30. Now, I suspect people will buy it because I'm about to share now. If you look at the price of the T30, it starts at $14,000.
Yo, Lawrence, a 450,000 ISO, you could be able to draw light from a smile, bro.
You know that rat that's in the corner looking at you? Well, you could see something in his teeth at 450,000.
You're supposed to be able to draw light from a smile. As soon as that smiles, you get the light off of his white teeth. There we go.
Yeah. But look, this is what it's supposed to be competition to.
Uh-huh.
The T30, the M30T. Well, this is $14,000, or you're going to pay $9,000.
Well, you see, here's the difference. And I don't like what Autel did with this. And like I said, let's see how it works. I want to see how it works because
right, definitely.
Let me make sure I got it right. The super night vision is something that DJI hasn't done. They haven't done that on an enterprise drone yet.
True. I need that so I can fly for fun, Stephen Drones. Well,
okay.
At $9,000, I'm not pulling it out unless I'm getting paid to fly it.
Wow.
I may pull it out and do a maintenance on it and check the props and make sure she's ready to fly. But
he's that.
He called me bougie. Wow.
You ain't taking it out and flying it in front of who?
Unless I'm getting paid.
Unless you're getting paid to do it?
At $9,000 a shot, you better be happy looking at my Air 2S.
Hold on a second. They're paying you $9,000 a shot? I need to come work for you.
Man, please. If they was, I wouldn't have such a shitty studio. I could actually show the back here with those guys' Aero logo and everything.
Show me the movies you shooting at, because $9,000 a shot.
Yeah.
If I was making $9,000 a shot, right? I'm kid you not. I expect this to happen. When I show up on the scene, right? When I pull up, I get out the car.
Someone hands you your controller?
No, somebody's there waiting to take the car keys out my hand and let me slide into my vest. You know what I'm saying, too?
Yeah.
And somebody else hand me my controller as the blades are already spinning. You already found the home point.
Just walk up.
And I'm just going to take off and fly.
You're right. For
$9,000 a shot. Okay, we're on a second shot now. What angle you want it from?
Yeah, right. Now
time's money here.
Now you're on to the next one for another $9,000.
Wouldn't that be nice? $9,000 a shot.
I agree with you, Matt Bagwell. He says he wish he could make $500 on the side every month. He'd be happy and he'd buy a drone for his birthday. Hey, Lance, how are you, man?
Welcome. You want to go work with Lawrence? He getting $9,000 a shot.
Yeah, okay. And I'm still cooking for myself. But we're not going to get into that. Those of you who are married, get the inside joke. Those of you who are married get it. You get it. Shh, in case your wife is listening.
Okay. Well, anyhow, moving right along.
Oh, no, so Matt Bagwell said, next thing you know, he'll expect someone to have a coffee and a donut muffin, a tray set out for him.
Who?
As you go to fly.
No, I wouldn't do that. But when the drone lands, I expect a drink. Something.
Don't encourage him.
$9,000 a shot?
Yeah, true.
That means each pass with that drone is $9,000. Let's go. Come on, bro. How much more you got in the till? My name would be on the opening credits of movies.
For real.
$9,000 a shot.
Jim's drone said, scratch all the writing off your drone. Prove it's a DJI drone or just paint it your Mavic orange. Just scratch the name off, right? Okay. Since they all look alike. Hey, I'll be there. One parking the car. Matt said he'll be there to one parking the car for you. How much do you get for that?
At $9,000 a shot, listen, you can make some good money.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't need $9,000 a month to operate.
Yeah,
No, but
I agree.
Lawrence, you know what? I was checking out some things here, and
What were you checking out?
Red Cat. Yeah, they launched a
Well,
new
I don't you think it's time to take a break?
a break. Well, I
Yeah,
like.
we need to pay homage to our sponsors.
Okay.
All right, so just give me a second here. We will pay homage to our sponsor, and
Wednesday Night with Those Guys is sponsored by Those Guys.
Okay.
there we go. Sponsors covered.
All right.
My job is done.
Anyhow,
All right, back to what we were doing.
Red Cat.
Yeah.
Red Cat launched the new what's that? The Teal 2. Now I'm quite sure you're familiar with the Teal 2 and the Teal and the whole blue SUAS list. Well, anyhow, let's go on. April 26th, right? That was what April 26th. Was the marks the official of the launch of this military tech Red Cat Holdings, their new military grade UAS, the Teal 2. It's a drone that's designed for you guys that work in public safety and I guess search and rescue and military and stuff like that. But this drone will be on display for the public or on public display.
Okay.
This one here is a lot, bro. This is a lot. So I'm just going to call it the 2023 Quad A Army Aviation Mission Solution Summit. Because I'm not going to say AAAAA.
Yeah, I know. It sounds a little crazy.
Yeah, they're one of 3 drone manufacturers that will be there, that will have their stuff on display for military use. This Teal drone is ideal for military. This is going to take place. This summit takes place in Nashville, Tennessee. So you guys down in Nashville, you could look it up, check it out, find out where it is. And I guess I don't know if there's tickets available for people to go check it out, but it is in Nashville, Tennessee.
And keep in mind, these drones are one of a series. We talked about this. I don't remember what episode, but you can fly 4 drones at the same time in a mesh network.
Well, what I wanted to mention to guys about this thing is that if you are, well, it doesn't matter to most guys here, but this here is available for order now for the military, government, and commercial applications. What makes it special so far, only thing really, truthfully, is the fact that it is manufactured at Red Cat's Salt Lake City factory here in the United States. So it fits and complies, I guess, with the
blue UAS list. Yes.
So as long as they can assemble the Chinese parts here in America, everything is fine.
There you go.
What's good about it? Well, most, as they say, most military operations, isn't that commercial you were watching?
No, that's them.
Damn, this cough is killing me. Most military operations, as they say,
hairball
take place, stupid, take place. Take place at night, and this is actually the drone that they've been looking for. They claim.
Yep. The fact that one pilot,
according to the fact that what they claim that the military is looking for, yes, this thing is supposed to dominate at night. With this drone,
they say it's a super. It's
right,
a super night drone.
Yeah, it's another one of those night drones.
Super night vision.
Yeah, He's stupid. With the super night vision. No, but it offers the latest in technology that's offered by Red Cat Holdings or Teal.
And it's made
And,
here in the USA.
It has the latest in intelligence in a drone for surveying and reconnaissance technology.
Right.
And like Lawrence mentioned before, it's ideal for mapping because one person in mapping military area one pilot can operate 4
H. Raymond,
aircraft
what's up, Johnny?
at one time. So that's a great idea. That's a great idea for them. But you know, we talk about a lot of stuff here, and we talk about we have a few people that come through the channel and consider them to be. If you come through here, we consider you really to be a really good friend of the channel.
Yes, yes.
And one gentleman, I would like to. I kind of want to call him like a mentor. He's been
This gentleman right here.
He's been here a few times. Stephen Sutton. He's helped me out a lot. I communicate with Stephen more than a lot of
some people here in the States.
Yeah,
so go ahead and say it. More than some people here in the States.
Some people here in the States, yeah. Sometimes daily with Stephen and talking about things, and Stephen has helped me a lot with focusing certain things in the right direction and getting my stuff going and things that I was trying to do. But Stephen has built with a lot of very good people, built the Flyby Guys into something. And there was an article in Commercial UAV News.
Yes,
it talks about the rise of the Flyby Guys, and Stephen's supposed to be in here with us tonight to talk about Flyby Guys
and their success.
Right,
their success.
And like what actually, how did the Flyby Guys come to be where they are?
What does it take to run a drone business?
You know, and it's a lot more. And I think business period. There's a lot that is involved in running a business period. I don't care what kind of business it is. It's tough, but this and I shared the things that I deal with you, daily with you, and sometimes you're actually there to see some of it, and the craziness that goes on in it, and trying to operate a drone business.
Yeah, you're right.
But Stephen is making his way in, and you're gonna have Stephen on.
Hey, Lake Pilot, welcome.
Lake
Pilot, guys are here.
So without wasting any more time, we have Stephen Sutton of the Flyby Guys.
I'd like to thank you.
How you doing there, Stephen?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, guys?
I'm good. I'm hanging in there. I'm
doing good too. I see you got the boom mic hanging and everything. Kudos to you on the news article.
Yeah, Stephen, you're doing a lot of big things, man. A lot of big things. I'm really loving to see it. And I mentioned before you came in, and I said to everyone, I was like, I kind of want to see it like a mentor, because you've helped me out so much, and how much we speak back and forth and stuff like that. I speak to you more than I speak to some guys here in the States.
That's why I thought I'd mention that.
Yeah. It's no. Well, thank you for the kind words. Obviously, it's been a really long journey. I don't know,
roller coaster ride.
It's been a bit of a roller coaster ride. I'm not. It's had its ups, it's had its downs. It's had more ups than it's had downs, of course. But it's been an exciting ride, and of course, it's not over yet. So we're going to keep on going, and it's nice. And I'm home for a change. I'm home this week, but I'm back traveling next week, of course.
It's funny.
I know you must be enjoying that.
It's funny you
Yeah,
say
well,
that real
the
quick,
weather's
Stephen.
getting warmer. Was that
It's
sorry?
fun. It's funny you say that because Draymond is very observant. He goes, "No hotel internet, LOL."
Yeah, no hotel. I'm in my office.
Okay.
We just got a new office actually, and I've been spending some time to make it look a little bit more. You know,
Mhm.
so this is the first you're getting to see of the new office. This is the first you're getting
Okay.
to see of the
Okay.
new look that we have now. You know, so it looks. I have a new camera. I have a new camera set up here. This is the first time I'm using the cam. I've not even made a YouTube video with this camera yet, but I
Wow.
thought I'd live stream with it, and I'm quite happy
Okay.
with it. You know,
I'm
so
I'm happy with the quality as well too.
All right.
yeah,
Looking
yeah.
good
This
there.
is good.
Yeah.
This is good. But I saw the story of you. It says the rise of the Flyby Guys, and I read it and I was like, I gotta send this to Herman. I didn't know he was actually going to contact you, but you go into in this article by if you go to commercial UAV news, I'll share the article in the chat as well. But you pretty much explain the ups and downs and what it takes and how you started your business and everything in this article here.
Yeah, but it's again, like it said, this, that it has been a team effort. It's, there's something that the team,
What?
we've brought in some guys over the years, or and given the background of those guys and given how much I know them and
Right.
whatnot, and that's what's made it happen. Is
Mhm.
Well,
it's never been about me. It's never been about someone. It's literally
it's about the
a
team.
effort.
It's about the team.
I know you guys. I know you guys always see me. You guys always see me, and I'm the one who does the videos and stuff like that. But behind the scenes,
Uh-huh.
there is a team working. And that's where the talent lies.
No,
Well,
that's good to hear you do
Stephen,
because
Mhm.
go ahead, Herman.
Well, what I wanted to ask Stephen was back in, was it 21, you had hired a gentleman that you knew for quite some time. Was Michael?
Yeah.
I have trouble with
Michael
his name. What's that?
Mikolovsky.
Thank you, because he wasn't going to get that out.
Did I pronounce that right?
You pronounce it Michael Mikolovsky, yes.
Mikolovsky.
And
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Yeah, Michael Mikolovsky.
Yeah.
Because you say that helped the company so much, but like it's like how, in what way? Like, how did the company? What was it that he offered that? Because you said it's a team effort. I know.
Yeah. Okay. So Michael and I go back a long way. Okay.
Mhm.
So Michael and I used to work together, 15 years ago. So we've known each other a long time. And we worked for a Finnish software company. And that was basically, he had a lot of experience and, with sales, with dealing with customers and whatnot within the telecom industry. I was working in there as well, but he was a lot more, he had a lot more experience and whatnot. So, we had been talking over the years, but when we started the Flyby Guys, we had been, having a chat over the years, and he was always kind of interested to see what we were doing and could he somehow be involved, and it's something which I always wanted him to be part of, because knowing what he was capable of,
Right.
and of course, long story short, he came in and things just dramatically changed, but it was of no surprise, because I knew that he had that ability, so so it's never, I mean, like I said in the article there, if being able to fly a drone does not give you it's not a license to print money. You need more than that. You need a lot more than that.
Mhm.
You can fly a drone, but unless you have the ability to, talk with customers and
I
get your
like what
foot
you
in
said.
on
You
all
called it. You said what did you call it? Soft what? Hold on, I'm trying to
soft
find
skills.
soft
Soft
skills.
skills.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Drone pilots really need soft skills. It's something that, when you're in the office and you're using this and you're using it somehow seems like, yeah, but I'm a drone pilot, so I just go out and fly drones. There's more to it than that. There's more to it. There's
There
more to it.
is.
And
There definitely is.
and keeping up with that type of, making sure you have those kind of skills, and it's not for everyone, because you can have the greatest drone pilots in the world, but if you don't have someone who has that ability to work on a daily basis and keep up with what should be done, then it's going to be tough. It really is.
See, Stephen, that's why we have Herman.
It's called team.
He has soft skills.
It's called teamwork.
He has soft skills. I'm the kind of guy that my facial, I can't play poker. Some people can play poker and say, yes, what you're doing is great. I would be saying, yes, what you're doing is great, but my face would be saying, I'm lying to you. It sucks. So I'm not a good poker player.
I'm kind of the same. I'm not really the best when it comes to, if you want to say, working with sales. I'm good at talking. But when it comes to the negotiating or whatever it is, that's not my strength. That's not my strength at all. I'm too much of a human being. So it's but when I'm on the job, of course, then of course I do my job. But
right, of course.
Someone who has the ability to deal with a customer and do sales, and those are skill sets that certain people have. So but yeah, it's
you can actually learn them.
Yeah, you can learn them, but I'm not saying you shouldn't. It's if you can, but a lot of people tend to go into, when they start a drone company or even any company for that matter, and they go in to do everything and they want to be hands-on with everything, and that's very much sometimes not the case. You just can't do that.
You're absolutely right.
So
that's why we got Lawrence.
Yeah, that's why you have Lawrence. Yeah.
No comment. See, I'm learning soft skills. No, believe it or not, Herman is teaching me soft skills. He's teaching me. He's taught me a lot in that department. And then I watch.
Trying to learn them.
And then I watch, because I'm gonna go. I just want to post this picture really quick, because this picture says it all right here. This the one that they use for the article. This one right here. This says, Stephen Sutton, I'm here to work. Leave me the hell alone. Let's get this job done. We can talk coffee and shop afterwards. Let's get it done. And in today's world, you have to have this look. Now, they can't tell if you're a stunt man here, a big time executive, but they know you mean business. Just by the stance, the body. You're exactly just by the way you're standing and everything. But I saw this article and I was like, yo, I know this guy. Let's I'm glad I know this guy. I just hope you don't get too big and cross over to the other side where
I mean, it's
no, I want you to get big and business wise. I mean mentally.
But we're I mean, myself, my own personal thing is I've always been about the drone community. I've always been about sharing as much information as we can, so that people, I'm also a hobbyist as well as this is my job, so I love to fly. I have all my drones behind here. It's I do feel very lucky, obviously for what I do, but it has not been easy. It really hasn't been easy, and that's something which I think that people do need to understand, is to get to this point where we are. it's not easy. It's really tough. It's really tough. It's but now it's looking good.
It's funny, Stephen, because 17, were a guy working for another company, and 2018 things change.
2017, I bought my first drone.
Yeah.
2017, I bought my first drone. 2018, we started the Flyby Guys. That in itself, I think, is when I look at that, when I look back at that, and I remember, at the time, or just before I was buying a drone, I was actually having lunch with a former colleague who used to work with us in that company, and he remembers. Well, it was just a couple of months ago, and he remembers one day that I was talking about buying a drone. And at this point, I didn't have a drone. And at this point, I don't think the Mavic Pro was actually out. And I was going to buy
was it?
I was going to buy a Phantom 4. That was what I was going to buy. And I remember this conversation. And he said to me, "What's the point in buying one of those? It's just a toy. It will never go anywhere." And we were sitting having lunch. And he said, "I remember that conversation." He said that if you buy that, it's a waste of money. He says, "How wrong was I?" And I said,
Hey, question.
I remember that.
Quick question. When you got your first real Flyby Guys job, did you and your boys sit down and smoke a cigar and drink some cognac?
Nope.
What did you do? What did you do on your first job to celebrate you guys getting that first job?
We didn't celebrate until we done the job and got paid. That's there's a certain way that I don't think that we should get cocky about. We got this job. It's being able to do that job. It's being able to deliver.
So upon completing it, that's a good.
Upon completing, we I think we did celebrate a bit, and it was something that we're very happy with. But again, not getting too complacent by saying, okay, that was great. It was more like, okay, so what do we do next? And of course, when we got the Intel job, I mean, that was a cause for celebration if ever there was, because the amount of work that went into, trying to get that, trying to get that agreement, because we had to put a lot of documents together and put an offer in. And once we got that, and then once we had interviews and everything was checked, and then they agreed. I mean, I remember not sleeping for weeks, because I wanted that contract. I wanted that contract, and and then when I got it, it was just and of course it was during COVID as well, so it was so kind of tough times. I couldn't go out to the bar because the bars were all closed.
I laugh because I kind of know how you feel, because I'm in a situation like that right now. Where I'm waiting on something and I want it, and I want it. Yeah. And I'll start banging on the table like Herman the Munster and just tear the place up.
It's when you can't sleep at night, when you're thinking about it, and you know how much it's going to help from a business perspective, from like a PR perspective, if they do allow you to, it is, and you'll look back on that and you'll go, and you think to yourself, obviously with what we are doing now, I look back on that. I mean, I don't look back on it and I don't think any negative. I don't think any less of it.
Right.
Right.
But it's, we have moved on, and we know what we're capable of, and we know that we can go for bigger and heavier things in a way. But it's just about knowing what you can do and what you and your team are capable of. It's not just about you, it's about your team, it's about what your team are. But again, also at the same time, watching out for your team, just making sure that everyone's okay and stuff, because I'm always concerned that that things are going too much, so.
No, you're absolutely right. And sometimes things get a little, tough and tight on the job, and guys, we got something to do, we got to get it done.
Right.
I'm a true believer that if you focus on giving the best service that you can, everything else will follow.
That's true, Stephen, because Herman and I had a little project, and we were asked to do something, and Herman and I worked on it like that. We got the job done, and I was like, all right, I'm going to email a guy. And just as I'm leaving Herman, he goes like this. He holds his hand up and he goes, wait till morning. So, of course, I'm up at 4 a.m. now. But that's I understand what you're saying about you want to get the job done. And Draymond said something very similar in the chat. He says, where is it? He says, I look at each job as my first on edge, making sure nothing is forgotten, always worried about drone issues. You're in the drone business, you should be.
That's a very, very good point. I think
that is true.
Sorry, I'm not actually looking at the chat right now, so I don't have the chat in front of me. So I do apologize, Dre. Dre's doing a lot of work. I follow Dre and what he's doing. And he's doing some great work out there. And that is a very, very good point that he says, is that not taking for granted what you have, and treat every job that you're doing as the
like
first,
it's the first.
Yeah, that is very true, because you don't know what's going to happen, and every customer is different, and you can't take them for granted, so we never get complacent. We never want to think that, oh, this is a job I do, and I can just go and fly. It's never like
say
that.
It's an easy job. I don't care if you have to walk across the street. We have a saying in FPV, Stephen, when you're down to your last battery, you never say, I'm going to burn my last pack or one more pack, because usually your last pack, something happens. I don't know why. I call it superstition, but I was told in the world of FPV, never say I'm burning my last battery. So I get it. Now, as far as your team, I know you have a great team, and I wanted you to talk a little about your relationship that you have with your team. I mean, a lot of the guys are old friends, but there still has to be some kind of relationship to make all that shit work.
Having a relationship, having trust is very, very important. It's super important. Being able to trust, and I don't believe in micromanaging. I don't believe in looking over the shoulder all the time and asking what is going on. And if
that's not what you're there to do.
No, and of course I know that some people like to do that, but that's I don't feel that really has any value, because if everyone is working for the same goal, if everyone's working to do what they should be doing, then it should be easy for them to do. And you hanging over the shoulder all the time will not make that any easier or even come any faster. You will know yourself that when you're dealing with customers, nothing happens overnight. Nothing happens immediately. Things can take weeks or months for them to agree on something.
Don't I know? Don't we know that?
Yeah, so so if you have a big sale, or that's coming in, being on the back of that person to say when is that coming in, it doesn't do any good, because what that industry is like, what those people are like. It can be a cultural thing. Obviously, we are a Finnish company, but we have an office, we have offices elsewhere, but we're doing work all over Europe and also all over the world. So we're dealing with different cultures. We're dealing with different ways of working, so that are not the same as what we are always used to. So, you also have to be understanding about how certain things work and how people work and what they say and whatnot, So, that is also very important. So,
Oh yeah.
You have to deal with a lot of culture shock, I'm sure, because
yes.
to fly from one, like you're saying, to fly from one country to another. I didn't know this, but I actually went to an Ethiopian restaurant, and I'm like, why is the chef looking at me out the door? He says, because you're eating with your left hand.
Yeah.
Because the Muslims do not eat with their left hand. Now, me growing up, I tried to accommodate, but I kept catching myself with my left hand. By the end of the night, I was sitting on my hand and eating like this, but I adjusted.
Yeah.
And that's what you have to do in a drone business, be able to adjust on the fly.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's like any business, really.
Oh, yeah.
It's just that is getting back to this thing that people. I mean, I watch the forums. I watch all the Facebook groups, and I see people. I've heard people on certain channels, and they like to talk that. Yeah, I can go out and make some money doing this. It's not that simple. It's not that simple. It's, if you go out and you want to fly, doing some video for someone or whatever, and there are certain dangers to that. Because I actually don't encourage people to go out and try and make a quick buck, because what you can actually be doing, you can actually be harming future business for other people, because if you don't understand what you
can taint them. You can taint them.
Yeah, you're actually damaging other people's work, because if you're charging, well, if you go out and say, I'll just do it for $20, and someone's been doing that for 100, and then that other person think, well, if he's doing it for 20, well, you can do it for 20, or you can do it for 30. So having
no, I can't.
You know what, Stephen?
No, I can't.
Stephen, you know what I was looking at, and everybody I guess can relate to this. You ever see when and everybody has probably done this. You go to the school and you get the school pictures done. They take 1 or 2 shots of your child and then they put them in wallet size. They got a little 8 by whatever, a 1 8 by 11 and the 5 by 9, and that package is like $300 or something.
Yeah, I know.
Kid, that's each kid in the school. Listen to what I'm telling you. Wait, the drone's going up, brother, and you're buying another one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of work involved. It's like when we spoke on this, your time. The amount of time it takes for you to go and you got to do what you have to do, you're actually setting up a whole production.
Yeah.
What you're doing is a whole production to get air clearance, make sure everything is safe, your path and what you're doing, everything to your flight, everything is safe for everyone in the area.
Yep.
The storage, the processing of all of these photos or whatever that you may be doing for someone, the video, whatever it may be, is a lot of time and a lot of work, because that's one person. What about the next guy and the next guy? And all of those guys take away from you being able to do the other guy's job.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very, I think it's very damaging. Look, I'm not saying that someone should not go out there and try and make money with a drone. What I'm saying is that when you go out to make a quick buck and you are not doing it as a business, but you're making a quick bit of money here and there, what you are potentially doing is you're potentially harming someone else's sector, someone else's work, because you don't really know what it is that you're actually doing.
You're harming the market in general.
Yeah. I call it beer money. Those that are out doing it for beer money, it's because for someone else that's not beer money. That's actually living money for them. It's actually money for a living. And the beer money, I mean, especially with drones, because there's not a huge market for it. So I think that every transaction, every billable job that is out there, is really important. It's really, really important. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's someone just taking a picture of someone's house or doing a landscape mapping or whatever, or doing a drone light show.
Right.
You cannot undercut yourself because I'm not saying that everything should be of a certain price, but if you have people out there that are doing it for a certain price, they obviously understand the value and what that costs. If someone goes out there and does it for half the price and doesn't really understand and is happy to do that for beer money, that is potentially harmful for that sector and that industry.
I agree. I agree with you 100%, because if someone, like you said, you charge $100 for something and someone comes in and says, I'll undercut you for $20, not only are you hurting the market, but you're tainting that person's thought concept on what a real job costs.
Yeah.
Well, also, that person now undermines the respect for what it is that you're actually doing.
Yeah, of course.
There's no respect for what you're doing now.
They don't know what it is that they're doing. That's like someone, I mean, I've had this, I've also had you guys, saying, I love watching these drone light shows. I would love to be able to do that. And then, someone just saying, okay, I'll do it for this price because they just want to go out and do it. But then again, that's hugely harmful.
Well, I know that, Stephen, because I had it happen to me back when I was just getting out of high school and I just started working for the Board of Ed. And I ran into this kid that was a beta tester for video games. Mm-hmm. And for a year and a half, I got into it older. They were doing it, but they were doing it on the regular, making a living from it. And by the time I had got into it, you started having kids coming out of college that were interning and saying, hey, why are you paying this old dude and them kids to do that? I'll intern. And they eliminated paying beta testers for video games when they can get an intern or someone to do it for free.
Yeah.
And that killed the whole market for people who made a living beta testing games and beta testing devices and things.
Yeah, of course. But of course, money is money. And of course, if people find a way to do things cheaper and still get the same quality, then that's fine. That's called capitalism.
Sometimes.
Unfortunately true.
Sometimes, but Stephen, capitalism, it doesn't have to work. So it just has to have the approach that it works.
This is a whole other matter, Herman.
True.
I don't think we want to go down this route. I don't think
as long as
the
power button works, sell.
Yeah. It's I just have great respect for any company out there that has the ability to make money with drones. Not just make money, but make a living out of it.
Right.
I have great respect for that because it's tough. It's not easy, as I've said, and I've said this many times. So I'm just repeating myself.
But the good outweighs the bad.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's funny because I've listened to some of the complaints of the guys in the drone community that are actually doing this and guys that are doing it for a living. And, sometimes during the winter months, you can toss and turn.
Yeah. And I guess this is where we've been very fortunate that, we can do drone light shows in other parts of the world where the weather's always good, and we've been, I'm not someone who believes in luck. I'm someone who really, I think that, you do good business, things will happen if you have a team behind you. So I don't think it's luck, but if you want to get down to it, some things we've been really lucky that the past few winters we've been in places doing long operations where if we were back home and we were, we probably wouldn't have that much revenue coming in. I hope that continues. Again, you can't guarantee on that, but it would be nice if that's the case, because it keeps things rolling, it keeps things seasonal. So it's like, we're following the sun,
Right.
Well, since 2018, till now, like how many light shows have you done? Because that's a yeah.
If we look at actual shows per night,
Hundreds.
Oh yes, the hunt is as well was about 300-400, I would say.
Okay.
300-400. Yeah.
That's 300 or 400 more than a lot of people out there trying to get into the business.
Because I think that a lot of people are going to start seeing more of these light shows, because eventually it's going to start to, everything comes to it phases out something. And the fireworks and what it takes to put together a fireworks show, as opposed to the maintenance of and the work involved in and I'm not saying there's no work involved in a drone light show, but the drones can be reused and the fireworks are just spent.
It's the drones are not the problem.
Good morning in Australia.
The drones are the least of your problems when it comes to drone light shows. It's other matters which are the problems. Because you're basically you're basically on a project, and when we're doing these long-term projects, they are really challenging, because you're in a production. You're in a large project environment. And you're working with another team. So if that team are really good, then you're going to have a really good time working. If you have good learning how to communicate properly, learning to understand when you shouldn't be talking to someone. Again, this is all cultural things as well.
Right.
The drones are sometimes the least of the problems.
How do you deal? That's a question I have. I actually have two questions, but the first question is, how do you deal with that? Like, you went to Asia, of course you have to deal with certain customs and styles of Asia, and then you went to the Middle East and had to assimilate the same way. How do you and your crew handle that? Do you study where you're going? You learn not to walk on the right side of the street. How do you prepare to go to another country? And language barriers. Do you have interpreters?
Yeah.
How does that work?
Well, not really. I mean, when we went to Asia, we did have a translator. I mean, when we went to, we've been to Asia twice. So we've been to Indonesia. So we went to Papua, and then we went to Taiwan. And with Taiwan, we did have a translator to deal with certain things, which of course was really good. And we had an amazing production team there. We had the most amazing people that we worked with, and we got really well looked after. They took us to they took us to dinner every night. If we weren't flying, we would go out to dinner, and but in terms of culture, of course, that was Chinese New Year when we were there, and that was something that, again, the cultural. I've actually got things here. Actually, I've got some stuff here. I've got some things that you'll see. They would bring these coins, these are coins that they would use to come and, that they would give to us as gifts. I don't know if it's going to focus on there, is it?
What were the purpose of those?
That is culturally good luck.
Okay.
And they have to. So when they come to visit you, so when they came to the airfield, when they came to visit us, they would always bring something. Nice. It could have been food. It could have been these little, kind of lucky coins. It could have been alcohol. It could have been things like that. But they had to bring something, and we would leave at the end of the night, bags full with stuff. Going, what do we do with this? Because I think I have another one here. Actually, I think I have another one of these coins here. yeah.
That's so nice.
You know,
Those
it
type
was
of-
just incredible. I mean, I've had some of the, you know, I've had some of the best memories of my life being on these shows, meeting these people, and experiencing things. You know, yeah, but it's you know, you just have to be very aware of their own cultures and things like
Right.
that. You know,
But
because
is there preparation that you guys go through?
you just do your own study. You know, you find out where
Yeah.
you're going. You'll see
Yeah,
what
that's
are
what I'm
customs
asking.
there. Yeah. You will do that. I mean, especially when we were in, 14 days of quarantine, as we were that then, because I was always
remember
on
that
your shows,
well.
if you remember.
Yeah, you were on a few shows during quarantine.
You
Yeah.
know,
Oh yeah.
yeah, we had time to basically, study things, and whatnot, and yeah, it's when we went to Papua, that that was, I mean, literally the furthest I've been to the end of the world, and to experience that was a complete culture shock for us, and yeah, it was just,
Now, food in other
food.
countries can be quite tricky.
Yeah, I mean,
Because
certainly
I
when.
remember the coffee.
Oh yeah, the coffee. Yeah, because it was terrible coffee when I was in Taiwan.
Yeah.
When I was in quarantine, it was terrible coffee. Yeah, it was absolutely shocking. Yeah,
You said shocking.
Yeah.
yeah,
Those little bags of coffee.
Yeah, and but whether you have a good experience or bad experience, and we've had great experience, we've had bad experiences. But when I say bad experiences, it's more like, you just have to adapt to the conditions that you're there, because there's nothing you can do about it. There's
Right.
you can complain, you can moan, you can be unhappy.
It doesn't help anything.
It doesn't help, because you know what you have to do, and you have to do these shows. You have to be able to, it's always about delivery, and if there's something that gets in the way that you basically can't help, then you just have to get on with it,
And then some places you're doing shows night after night after night for a few nights, right?
Yeah, and that is also tough on the body and also on the mind, because when we were in Qatar, that was like 50 nights, and we didn't have a single night off. Didn't have a day off, so we were working, and that was tough. It was tough conditions. It was a tough customer. It was, because it was a World Cup, there was a lot of stress around the place and stuff.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of demand. I mean, it wasn't bad. It was a bit more nervy than what we've actually been used to. But again, being able to deliver, being able to, say, this is what we're going to do, and we're going to, we will do this, and the customer in the end was so happy, because they knew it was tough conditions. They knew that, what we were doing wasn't easy, and everything around it. So the fact that you are able to deliver, the fact that you're able to show the customer that even though this is tough, that's when it counts.
Right. No, that is a good feeling, to be able to get it done under those conditions and be able to please the customer. Like I said, I'm a true believer that if you do the best business that you can and offer the best service that you can, everything else will fall in line.
Yeah.
Unless you just, you're unconscionable and you just do bad business.
Yeah.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah.
And that's not to say that things might not go wrong in the future.
True.
Things are out with your control as well. We've had things like that where we've been out. Things have been out with our control. Again, you just have to adjust. I've had some of the toughest moments, ever in some drone light shows where, all of a sudden overnight, or just at that moment, things just completely go wrong. And you need this is where your soft skills come in. This is where your own skills
Right.
in order to make things a lot better,
There's
Yeah.
there's a question from Jim's Droning. He says, "Who writes the software programs for the shows? How long can it take?"
So I mean, usually it takes us about 2 months to get things done from beginning to end. It depends on the company we're doing the shows with. There will be someone specifically working with us to do the software, to do the animation, So, you can outsource that. You can have other companies doing that as well, and there are companies that can do that for you, not just the company that you're working with.
Okay.
So I mean, this is all 3D rendering in a sense, and being able to do animations. So,
Right.
But yeah, I mean, the whole thing can take it takes about 2 months. You can do a quick turnaround, but you just have to be very careful what you're doing. The main thing is permissions. That's always a tough thing, is to get the permissions done in time.
Right. And also, Dustin asks, did you get out to see any of Qatar, and when you were there? Because he spent 2 weeks there and absolutely loved it.
Sorry, what was his name again? Sorry, what was his name?
Dustin?
Dustin.
Yes.
Okay, Dustin. I've spent many months in the Middle East, and I've been in Qatar before that as well. My job was to lead the project. So when I woke up in the morning, I had to do work, and my work ended at the end of the night. My pilots would go out and they would see some of Qatar. I didn't see any of Qatar at all. I'd seen nothing of Qatar because every day was a working day for me. Yeah, so I had to deal. I had to deal with the customer and whatnot. Yeah.
Oh, so in reality, while your boys are home sleep after a night hanging out in a hotel sleep, you're up saying they better get their asses up in the morning.
Yeah, but
But they will.
I know they will. But I'm always the one who is actually protecting the pilot. So I make sure that they have the rest. If I see them looking tired,
okay.
Well, yeah, that's part of the job.
Yeah,
I see them looking tired.
Yeah, I will shut things down because it becomes a safety issue.
Right.
It becomes a safety issue. So you can have your pilots that have been doing 18-hour days, starting in the heat.
You have to be able to notice that as well.
Yeah, I've done it before. I've actually done it before. So I've had, there was one time where we had a customer. This was a couple of years ago, in a certain country, and they were making demands on us which were unreasonable. And
yeah, I remember this one.
Yeah, and I seen the pilots where they were starting to have some fatigue, and I shut things down immediately because and the customer was like, "Oh well, this is not good. We have to." I said, "Look, would you rather have a mistake and then you have like a nasty PR on your hands, or shall we get some rest?" Oh, rest is good. Yes.
Of course.
So it's always about safety. It's always about safety, and that's not something that they will, because I know what they'll be doing. They'll be thinking, yeah, let's get this done. I see it differently because I'm watching them and I'm seeing how they're moving. I'm seeing how they're behaving. And if things are not great, then I'll just, I'll do things to make sure that they get some sleep.
Well, Dustin says, you definitely need to get out on the town there sometime. You'd love it if you ever go back there. But from what I'm understanding, Stephen, because you are in charge, there is no play until the job is done. And I understand that because Herman and I, we say little things to each other while we're working together, but because we know each other. But to anyone else walking by or standing around, we're as serious as all hell.
Yeah. It's like any
Hey, Ray
job.
Kelly.
Hello, Captain Ray.
You know what it is, Stephen? For me, it's one thing when I go out. Look, me and Lawrence go out to fly, and we're flying for fun. It's one thing, but when you put the bird up in the air for your reputation, for to do a job or to do something for someone, and it doesn't matter how big or how small it is. I kid you not, I said to Lawrence, I said, am I nitpicking? But is the drone just moving a little too much for me? And it's fine. And you know what I'm saying? And I spoke
we get the
Billy,
stuff back.
And it's the drone's fine, but I'm just so nitpicking because every little live-long thing becomes more important to you when when things are on the line like that, when it's for business and people
and your name and your name,
your reputation, the safety involved in getting it done.
It's you know obviously with you guys being New York or New Jersey, you know you are dealing with the FAA, so you need to, like any company, you need to start off and you need to be having a good relationship with the authorities, and you need to maintain that. You need to continue that. If you start having a bad reputation with your behavior and what you're doing, that will follow you. It will follow you. And I mean, I know from my point of view is that if we have pilots that are coming in that want to join the Flyby Guys, which we have every day, if I were to see, or we were to see, that some of these pilots are reckless or don't really care about the rules and regulations, then we won't hire them, because it's because it falls back on us. It will always fall.
Of course. You're putting your name on the line with that individual.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We understand that totally.
And it's funny because sometimes you get where people will ask you to do things and it's like, that can't be done. I mean, it could be, but it shouldn't be done. You have people on the ground, and that's not a good idea.
Yeah.
To do something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you might get away with it, and that's okay, but then you are expected to continue to work like that, and at some point it will, it will come,
or you'll hear, you did it for this guy, why can't you do it for me? Well, Herman and I are very good at not starting anything like that.
Well, also what you'll have is that, like what Stephen was saying about working where that guy will work for $25 for something, and it's ruining, the reputation of the business. You start doing stuff like that, and then that guy expects that anybody else that he speaks to of intelligence is going to do the same thing.
Yeah, because most people at the beginning, of course, who don't understand what it is that they're doing or what they're paying for, they just see cheap, and if someone is used to paying that $25, and then someone said, well, I do it for 100, and you say, well, that guy does it for 25, and then the guy explains why he does it for 100. The other guy who's paying that doesn't really get it. He doesn't, he's just thinking that he's saving money, and but it's not about money, it's about value. It's about what you can bring. It's the value.
There is no shortcut in business.
No. Yeah, exactly.
Because what I tell my clients, if I'm doing a job personally myself, and I say, this is how much I charge, the first thing they say, oh, well, that's too much. Well, you sleep on it and see if you can find someone else and get back to me. And I'll walk away. Yeah. And I walk away with my head high, knowing that they're getting better quality than they could possibly get. And more than likely, the prices that I charge, they're not going to be too happy with until they see the product.
Well, but also at the same time, if you lower your price,
Yeah, that shows weakness.
It's not just showing weakness, but it's also showing that you're doing it for.
You hear this, Angie?
But you are, you are working for less, so you're not going to be covering everything. So you're making a loss. And when you're making a loss, that's not good, because you have your like I've been saying to you, obviously before, Herman, you are making a loss. You need to cover certain things. Those are things you have to cover,
Right.
and that's what you're justifying with the work that
With
you
prices. Yes. Do not.
I'm not saying I'm not saying you have to break it all down for them. I'm not saying that, but there is, there's a certain threshold, and that's why when you be confident about what you're doing, when you are, when you're doing these sales, is, that's why a good sales guy knows how to speak, knows how to talk to a customer,
That's so true. I used to sell shoes for Sears department store, right? And I wind up working there, getting promoted, and I had one customer that would come in. Now, she would buy clearance shoes, which are the cheapest shoes in the place, but she would leave with 4 shopping bags full of shoes. And she would actually ask the manager, could I escort her to the car so she could tip me, of course, but because we're not supposed to take tips. But I found out she was a female bounty hunter, for one, and she said the reason she only deals with me is because of the way I treat and talk to her when she's there. She will come there when I'm not there. If I'm at lunch, she'll come back. If I'm not there, she'll come back on the day when I'm there. Because, and this lady went to Dominican Republic to go apprehend some guy and brought me back some rum from the Dominican Republic. I mean, we had a very good relationship, but it's how you talk to people.
Yeah, it is.
How big were her feet?
She was a little tiny thing. Stop. Let's not go there. That's a different story.
Yeah,
I didn't have to hit her in the throat.
But that also leads to another good point here, Lawrence, as well, that you're saying there is the customer relationship is also very, very important as well.
Yes, very important.
Knowing and knowing that if the customer will take things too far with you or whatever, or try to, but yeah, a customer relationship is very, very important, because it shows that you care about what you do, and of course vice versa, so but yeah, that's why you have a team. That's why you have team behind you, because there's so many cogs in the wheel, that that are spinning,
Right. There's certain things that one guy is good at that another guy is not so good at, and one guy is better at. Yeah, and together we're stronger.
Yeah. It's
I get it.
It's very true.
Because I've seen some things in a short space of time that I just think that I don't want to narrow it down to just to the drone business, but I'm just saying, like, business period. I'm quite sure that people come across some stuff, they're like, wow, they shake their head every day. Wow, I can't believe this.
Yeah.
But
it's
there. It's happening.
I don't know if if I look back 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and thinking that where I would be, what I would do, I honestly think I would have thought that I was mad to think that I would be doing this kind of work that I was doing, but of course you can always have ambitions, and I think that when we started the company, we did want to focus on the data side, obviously, as I've been saying in the past. That's something which has remained, and we've kept that main goal, as we wanted to focus on the data side. We have obviously ventured off into the drone light show operations as well. But that just gives us more a bit more scope and a bit more visibility and a bit more flexibility. And I think that what is very important, especially for anyone out there, and of course Dre, if you're still watching, will
he is.
will
He's
know
here.
this as well, is that you really have to maintain your focus as to what you're going to be working with, and so whatever sector, so focus on that sector and make sure that you
go ahead.
Yeah,
go
just
ahead.
Focus on that sector and give it your all, rather than thinking, oh, I can do this or I can do that, and we'll do this and that, and we'll, then you really get confused because you're spending so much time trying to do sales in different, in different areas, rather than doing the one area, and then of course, I mean that's where again where we got lucky, because of the drone light shows, because we had COVID, where a lot of things shut down. So we were kind of lucky that we fell into that, and then that it just transpired, and then
Well, Draymond agrees with you. He says in my field of work, my credentials are what wins over most people I may encounter at sites. When you're able to speak the same language, terminology shows the knowledge that you have. And it's true. When a customer comes to you, like someone walked up to Herman and I and said, we're looking for a drone pilot.
Yeah.
And from there on, the sale starts.
Yeah. Yeah. And, being able to focus on that and being able to, that's where your confidence is. And I love those, all those videos that Raymond does, he does with the cap or the hat and stuff, he has, he has the moves, you can see the confidence in there, what he's doing, because he loves what he's doing, I know he loves what he's doing. And he's got the swagger, he's got that, I don't know that word, but he's got the swagger, so it's, but yeah, I have a lot of, I've got a lot of admiration for Draymond and what he's doing out there and stuff, so, and that's a good role model. I like being on there with Draymond. I like, I like chatting with Draymond as well. It's nice to, share the information.
He has some stories, and doing some work out there that I think is very interesting. Lawrence and I are kind of like in a similar area with some of the stuff that we've done and we've picked up here and there. And one big one that we're actually hoping that we get. And along, I just want to ask you this one thing. Along 5 years, I know 5 years you'll learn a lot in 5 years. But some of the biggest lessons that you've learned in 5 years,
never take anything for granted.
I know, but I just want you to share it with everyone else.
Just never take anything for granted. Every day is a new day. You can wake up in the morning from having some bad news the day before, and then the next day it can be the best thing that ever happens to you.
It's true, and that's when your poker face has to come in, because Herman knows I've personally gone through a lot of things over the last year or 6 months, and I still come on here. We do this live stream and we do what we have to do, and we go out in the street and we do what we have to do. You know what I'm saying? And Herman, like I said, he knows what I've been going through, but it's business first. You leave that home behind the door, and then when you get back home, all right, the day's over. You handle it that way. And I'm sure, like you said, there are days you may hear bad news. There are days you may hear good news and end with bad news. But you got to keep them separate, and you got to keep business separate from that. And that has helped me a lot.
Yeah, I've never really experienced that kind of feeling before, where you get the bad news, and you kind of go, oh, what are we going to do now? What's going to happen? And then the next day it's like, oh, well, we never expected this to happen, and and then it completely changes your outlook for the week, for the next month or something, and so that's why always be optimistic, always be ready, never think the worst, because the next day, the next afternoon, you could have a crap morning and then the afternoon can be amazing. It's just, that can happen like that. It can happen like that,
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, guys, it's that time.
Yeah.
Is it?
But it's that time, Stephen. I could talk with you. I need to get over to Finland so we could have a beer and just talk shop.
Yes.
We could have won another hour.
We
It's
got
Captain
30.
Ray on next, isn't he? Captain Ray, or
Yeah, Captain Ray and them.
Thank you, Gary.
Well, Stephen, we really appreciate you coming on here. When I saw that article on you, and I was like, even like when I saw the other article on you before, I was like, I got to bring Stephen on because we got to talk, because you and I talk, and I know a lot of these stories, and I know a lot of these things from having you on the show and talking to you behind the scenes, stuff like that. And a lot of these people may not know. And some of your stories and the things that you've experienced have helped me. And some of the things that you've told me have really helped me. And, I'm a true believer that anybody can learn from their own mistakes, but it takes a wise man to learn from the mistakes of others.
True.
It's true. That's true.
And when I've you've shared with me, and I anytime I run into a roadblock, I'm like, I got to talk to Stephen.
Yeah, we got you on speed dial, dude. We got you on speed dial. Seriously.
I got to. What do I do now? I'll talk to Steve. I don't know what to do.
Listen, we appreciate you all, Stephen. Thank you again for coming on. Congratulations on hitting that article. Keep striving.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much for the invitation. It's always a pleasure to come on with you guys. Always a pleasure, and thank you for thank you to everyone in the chat. I wasn't looking at the chat. I'm sorry, but thanks for everyone for.
We really appreciate having you here and you coming on and hanging out with us and just sharing.
And you've thrown us, not a lifeline, but you've thrown us so much knowledge over the last couple of years that we've been friends and doing this live stream stuff, and you make things interesting.
Yes, you do.
Thank
you. Make people want to keep doing this.
I'm happy to. I'm just happy to be here and just share. I want to see everyone grow. I want to see the industry grow, and we'll only do that if we all do it. If we all do it successfully. So that's the way I think.
Well, I'm typing good night to everyone in the stream. We got to get out of here, guys.
Yeah, we got to get out of here. But I want to just say one thing to everyone out there. Thank you all for coming and hanging out with us. It was been a nice night hanging out with Stephen and talking, drones, and we're seeing where the Flyby guys have come from and where they are now. And we hope that Stephen has many, many more years, with the Flyby guys. And, we hope success for everyone in this industry that wants to take that shot and strive for something, in the business to help others with the drones that we fly. And, and with that, I just want to say good night to everyone. There's a lot of live streams on after this. So you guys go and check those live streams out and tell them all that those guys sent you. And with that,
yes,
Wednesday night with those guys is sponsored by those guys. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Fly safe. Make sure you stay safe.
Thanks, guys.
Good night, everyone.